Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
It's not like me to be patient, pandering, or Pollyannish about our local sports teams. In fact, to my great disappointment, my urgency to win a championship has rarely been in alignment with the men who own our sports teams. But I have remained very bullish about the 2024 Diamondbacks, even throughout the injuries and inconsistencies, because I see a team that could easily get hot at the right time and get back to the World Series. A team that already knows what that looks and feels like, and it's even bigger than that. In a sport that has now expanded to 3 wildcard teams, I believe this could be the Diamondbacks' organizational blueprint for years to come, especially in a division where the Dodgers will always be the favorite. The Diamondbacks can be the team that is known for the September surge, barreling through the new world loophole. But there are games like yesterday that drive me insane, that really test my patience, because their impatience can be insufferable, because they just lost to Patrick Corbin, one of the more hittable, gettable pitchers on the planet, and because they should never have the second best Corbin on a baseball field at any given time. And in the end, they lost a great opportunity to get back to 500, and the latter is a warning sign for our baseball team, because we've seen teams in the past that just can't get their heads above water, and a summer-long dance with mediocrity is going to test everyone's patience in the valley. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
This one has me shaking my head a little bit. You know, I'm here talking about it with a couple of coaches, thinking, you know, what happened and how do we not win this game? That's kind of the mindset we're in. But that's the beauty of sports. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. This team is an easy one to bet on. We've been playing good baseball. So my mindset will be the same. Think about what we did wrong. Look at the areas that we can all improve, starting with me. Flush it, come out tomorrow, and try and win a series.
That's Torey Lovello yesterday after a 3-1 loss. Very little in terms of stringing together offense at all against Patrick Corbin, who's been struggling for quite some time as a pitcher for the Washington Nationals. But again, 74 games into this season, it's kind of, even when the Diamondbacks find their footing a little bit, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yep.
Can they take that step forward? And this is an important game because you're going into Philadelphia, and the Phillies are really good, top team in the National League, and they are unbelievable at home. They just don't lose games at home.
And there's a real danger if the pitching staff for the Diamondbacks, Jordan Montgomery, I assume he's going to be Friday's starter because Tommy Henry told us on this radio show, breaking news, folks, that he's going to pitch Saturday.
Yeah, but I mean, I looked at that and heard what Tommy said, too, because there was some speculation that Tommy Henry would go tomorrow in the opener. Is tomorrow an opener?
Oh, boy.
In the opener.
And then you saved Jordan Montgomery for Sunday?
I've been a little bit out of the loop.
Okay, yeah.
When was Montgomery last pitched last weekend?
I don't know what happened 24 hours ago, dude. You're asking the wrong person. Time is just, it just doesn't exist in my head the way it should.
Do you remember the 6 o'clock hour today show?
So my fear is that this Phillies series could be so lopsided that it affects the Diamondback psyche. That's what I fear. That you might get an 18-3 game, something like that, just because of what they want to prove. And this team, like I said, like you said, they're good enough this year and so focused this year they could make that happen. Now, that might sound extreme, but we have seen this Diamondbacks team hang by their fingernails, and when they get against that proverbial wall, they generally come up with something good in those salvage games where you've got to win these must-win mid-season games that is so ridiculous as a concept, but feel very, very accurate with this particular baseball team. I agree with you. Today's game, you win this, you get back to 1 game below 500. You give yourself a little bit of margin for error if things go really, really bad in South Philly. You lose today and get swept in South Philly, now you're looking at a 5-game losing streak. And that's what worries me. I as I said in the blast, I really I really believe last year there were a lot of people who thought this new playoff format in Major League Baseball is absurd. Having all these wild card teams playing 162 games for a one-game winner-take-all kind of format, making a 108-win baseball team wait a week for an opponent, all of this is just not competitively sound in terms of competitive integrity, but I think the Diamondbacks, maybe more than any other team in Major League Baseball, can be exactly this kind of team to use this loophole to their advantage every single year.
Absolutely. Like, specifically, as I view baseball as a whole, I think it sucks. I don't think mediocre teams should be rewarded with a chance to win a World Series.
Yeah.
But that's what they've done.
That's what they've done.
They've expanded the field, and as long as this is a loophole, find a way to walk through the loophole, and that's what the Diamondbacks do.
Because you think about it, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if, say, we were back in the mid-1990s, there'd be no hope for anybody. Because you've got the Dodgers, well, and maybe the Dodgers are a bad example now because they've got some serious injuries they're dealing with. But there's
now they'll only win the division by 15 games. They're really hampered.
That's my point. So it at least it provides hope, and I think the Diamondbacks can rally around this because there's no reason for this team to really get lost in anxiety and desperation because they just did this last year.
Yeah.
But there are moments in a season when you got to keep your grip. And the Diamondbacks have been good in those moments when it feels like it's really slipping away at holding their grip.
Yes.
This game and this weekend feels like it's going to be a test of that.
Yeah. Going back individually and something that I brought up with Derek Hall when he joined us in the previous segment, and that was Corbin Carroll. And I give Corbin Carroll a lot of credit because he was lost. It looked like he was swimming. We had almost daily conversations about, what do you do? He's the rookie of the year. He's got a $111 million contract. Can you feasibly send him down for a week to have him find his confidence? He's done it on his own at the major league level. And he's picked up the production. He looks like Corbin Carroll again on the base paths. But I brought up the lack of power. Corbin Carroll, going back to, if you use post-All-Star break last year, he played in 69 ball games, 17 postseason games last year, and 72 games this year. That's 158 baseball games. Corbin Carroll has 11 home runs in those 158 games. How much of a concern was the 25 home run number or the power surge pre-All-Star break in 2023? Was that the anomaly? Is this more the Corbin Carroll that we're going to see? I would love to see Corbin Carroll just get a hold of one, whether it's today, whether it's this weekend in Philadelphia.
Right.
Just to kind of quell those concerns, too, because I don't think the Diamondbacks necessarily would have been that ready to give $111 million to a guy who's going to be a singles hitter.
No, I think you're right about that. And I think that what I'm hoping for is it's a process, that Corbin Carroll is so focused on just barreling up. Maybe he's shortened his swing a bit. He doesn't seem to be elevating the ball. He seems to be just content with driving it. I don't know if it's intentional or what, but I do think that you're absolutely right. At some point in time, for him to be truly dynamic, he's got to have that element in his game as well.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Murata. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.